So, hey, so a lot of women have complained that they don't know how to create time for themselves, even though they want to. Like, they find it difficult to create time. They're always busy, they're always overworked, overstretched. And it's important we make our time for ourselves. So on this video, I want to list out, as a mother, I'm talking from experience, list out ways I create time for myself, because lots of women do ask me, how do you create time for yourself? How do you create time to do this, do that, do that? So that is exactly what I want to talk about, because I know women, mothers can relate to this. So ways I create time for myself, which you too can learn it and, build it into your routine. I know it might not be easy, but when you start doing it, it's going to be easy. Yes. So number one way I know that I create myself is that I make sure to wake up 20 to 30 minutes before everyone. Yes, this time everywhere is silent. I can use it for my alone time, because I actually value my alone time a whole lot. So I use this period to either pray, journal, stretch myself. In fact, do things specifically for myself and not for anybody. And those period, everywhere is so silent. People are still sleeping. So you wake up earlier than every other person in the house. 20 or 30 minutes to yourself will really rejuvenate you and prepare you very well for the day. So another way you can create time for yourself is not to do every task by yourself. Learn to share tasks. Yes, that your children, you are thinking that they are not grown enough to do work. They are. Learn to share appropriate chores to your children. Even a 2 years old baby can do something. They can pick toys, they can arrange their toys, they can arrange their clothes. Like, give them appropriate chores. Do not overwork yourself. Yes, I don't overwork myself. I do the one I can do and leave the rest. I'm talking about those that don't have any help. Even if you have help, learn to relegate duties. Yes, if you don't have help, learn to rest. Don't do every work by yourself. It's very, very important, because you are going to be overworked. That's why people wonder, they do ask me, how do you create it? How do you do this? How do you do this? Is exactly what I do. I don't do all the work by myself. Yes, I don't have help yet, but I don't do all the work. I started very early to delegate tasks, to give appropriate chores to my children, and now they are growing. They can do a whole lot of house work, so that I don't get overworked, please. Then this point is for mothers that just put to bed. I was guilty of this when I was giving birth. So during that time, once my baby is asleep, I see it as an opportunity for me to start washing clothes, start cleaning, start doing all the whole chores that the baby prevented me from doing. And the end of the day, I'll find myself so stressed, like exhausted. I am looking miserable, because the time you now want to sleep, that is when the baby will wake up. So what I'm saying is that once your baby goes to sleep, jump in on that bed and go and sleep with your baby. Yes, every time. It's not every time you jump on top work and begin. No, you can jump immediately your baby goes to sleep, you too go, because most times they don't sleep at night. You find yourself, after overworking during the day, in the night when they are awake and prevent you from sleeping, you too, you will not sleep, and the next day you wake up with a serious headache, exhaustion, and tiredness. So all those whole thing is not mm-mm. So it's not it at all. Then another one I want to talk about is those holiday that our children are at home. Ways you can create time for yourself. You can create time for yourself. You can decide to map out 30 minutes in a day where everybody goes silent. I do this a whole lot. If I'm at home, my dear, that once we finish our afternoon food, whatever thing we are doing is going to everybody. If you don't want to sleep, maybe that means anything you want to do must be done in silence, because me, I want a very quiet time for myself. If they can decide to be drawing or reading or doing why me, I can use that time, 30 minutes or 1 hour, to do something for myself alone. I can decide to read that time. I can decide to do anything that I know that this is for me. So that is it. Even when they are on holiday, everything is not the whole day noise, 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 noise. No, you can tell them that for the next 1 hour, you can play or do anything, but let that play not be a noisy one. You can engage in any other type of play, but not a noisy one. So those are the ways I create time for myself. Then another way I create time for myself is just like I prepare, maybe if they are like during the time that are in school, that are going to school, I create a nighttime routine that I will do some of the, maybe their lunch, their school clothes, the socks. Like I will prepare some of their things in the night, get it set. Maybe their sandals, their socks, their like prepare, even prepare the food, have done, then put in the fridge, so that by tomorrow is going to be very easy for me. Do you understand? So sometimes you prepare some of the things that you are going to do in the morning, you prepare some of them in the night, so that the next day it becomes very, very easy for you. Do you understand? So I do this one too very well. I do it a whole lot. I prepare some of the things in the night, then tomorrow morning is just going to be very easy for me. Then another one I do a whole lot without guilt is just to give myself time. Maybe today I will just say abeg, no be today I no go work. Like I no go kill myself today. After all, housework or whatever work, dey finish. You can't tell me that you are going to clean the house now and it won't be dirty again. It's not possible now. You can even finish cleaning the house now, no. In the next 10 minutes, that house is already messed up. So you can't come and now die put simply because you want your house to be organized. Over the time you are working, cleaning, putting things together when you have kids. So those are the things I will just wake up and tell myself, no, Uzo, today is not work, abeg. I will just do small thing and rest. Rest without guilt. Do you understand? I will map out time for myself, because anything you don't create time, if you continue to say I don't have time for this, when you prioritize all those things, but you have time for every other person, you have time for your children, you have time for every other thing. So why will you say that you don't have time for yourself? It doesn't make sense to me at all. Because, and stop feeling guilty about it, because nobody will. As a matter of fact, people even prefer you when you are very, very healthy. Your children wouldn't like you to break down, overworking yourself. You understand? So things like this, you make out time. Make out time. If you are working or doing business, that you go out a whole lot, then you should find a helping hand. Don't do things alone. Yes, if you know that you are very, very busy, that you work outside of your home, my dear, you need to get somebody that will be helping you, because you need to have time for yourself. If not, you are definitely going to look way older than your age. Yes, you find out that you break down a whole lot. Small thing, every time you are very sick, and the more you are getting sick, the weaker you become and the older you look. So you really, really need to map out time for yourself. So my name is Avonyozoma. I am Home Magic Woman. So save this video and you can share it with other women. I am the face behind Hair Glow Cycle, a community of 30 plus women who have decided to prioritize themselves. Yes, I am going for 30 plus women because I know a lot of people have asked me, why do you focus on 30 plus women? Because I want to deal with matured women. I want to deal with women who I know that at this age, they already know what they want. They want peace for their life. They want a very quiet, soft life for themselves. And I believe that at this age, they must have they must have been they must have given birth. They must have been a mother. Even if you are not a mother, I just want to be dealing with a very matured women who already know what they want for themselves. So that is why I'm focusing on 30 plus women. So if you really want to prioritize yourself, you want to begin to take your self-care very, very serious, look after your health, your wellness, your beauty, then you should follow this page. Thank you for watching. Bye.